In this next chapter, we will learn about the role of your thyroid. The thyroid is a butterfly gland that sits here located just in the throat. And many people don't realize just how important our thyroid is in order to balance the whole entire endocrine system. For without a working thyroid, our whole body will feel like it is shutting down and we will have a range of hormonal symptoms. As you know from the beginning of this course, I discussed my story with you and how I had Graves' disease and then had radioactive iodine treatment, which means that I'm now dependent on thyroxine medication. Now, although I take thyroid medication, it does not mean that my thyroid is healthy, because taking a medication does not address the underlying root cause to why we develop thyroid imbalances. Yes, the thyroid is struggling, but why is the thyroid struggling? There are reasons. There are underlying root causes to why we develop conditions like low thyroid, like Graves' disease, and like Hashimoto's disease as well. So in this chapter, I have given you PDF handouts to read. I've also given you audio content to listen to. And when you get further into the course, there is also a thyroid section for premenopause and menopause, a PowerPoint where I explain in detail why you are developing symptoms in premenopause and menopause that are connected to your thyroid. So your thyroid is responsible for many things in your body. There are conditions such as fibromyalgia, which is not recognized today by many doctors, if at all any. I don't know any. And from studies, they are saying the reason why flare-ups become worse is because women have low thyroid levels. And I would tend to agree with that. Now, there's something else that is a problem, and you've already learned about it in the course, and it's estrogen dominance. When we have too much estrogen, the thyroid cannot make its hormones. You have T4 hormone and you have the active T3 hormone. So T4 is inactive, T3 is active. Now the problem with this thyroid medication, they give us the thyroid medication in the form of T4. Unless your liver can convert T4 to T3, you could still be showing signs of thyroid problems. So the signs are cold hands and feet, or just feeling generally freezing cold all of the time. Your body cannot heat up. Weight gain. Weight gain. When you have tried so hard to lose weight, and yet the weight is still not shifting, no matter how much you eat healthy, no matter what you do, that weight just will not shift. Chronic fatigue, exhaustion, not just tired, but physical chronic fatigue. Brain fog. This is the common symptom in premenopause and menopause and why it is connected to your thyroid. It's also connected to estrogen because too much estrogen is going to lower your thyroid and you may end up with those symptoms like brain fog. We also have bowel problems like constipation, diarrhea, irritable bowel kind of syndrome with the gut. So there's gut problems. And you may also feel like you can't sleep. For those of you who have Graves' disease, you may have anxiety, or you might just have anxiety anyways with low thyroid, because anxiety is a very, very common symptom for women. And feeling depressed, low moods, dry skin. And for me, it was about my hair. So when I had low thyroid levels after radioactive iodine, my hair went a lot thinner. And I've heard so many ladies say to me that hair's falling out, they have low thyroid. I've had clients who have lost their hair altogether. And we need to replenish our thyroid in order to create healthy hair, healthy skin, and healthy, beautiful hormones. So this thyroid medication is not actually going to heal you. It may stop the symptoms. You might feel so much better. But underlying, you still have not given your body everything it needs for your thyroid. So I've covered with you in this chapter the supplements you need to take, the foods you need to eat, and also the foods that you need to avoid. The other things that we need to do in order for us, including myself, we need to have a healthy liver to convert that T4 hormone into our T3 hormone. So if we have any liver stagnation, which most of us do because of our diets and because of all these xenoestrogens coming in from our environment and as well as these medications, our liver it can't filter. Our liver is our filter. Remember, our liver is our beauty filter. And this is where we get skin problems. You see skin, your skin is a reflection of our liver health. So we have to look after our liver. So you have the liver chapter with all the cleansing supplements, all the foods to take to clean your liver. And we have to do this on a regular basis. It's not just, I'm going to do it now. I'm just going to do it for a one-off. You need to be doing this every single day as part of your lifestyle. And the other place that we need to look after is our gut, because inside the gut, you also have T4, T3 conversions. So if you have any leaky gut, if you have gut dysbiosis, if you have any parasites, any pathogens, or anything inside of the gut that should not be there, and you also have too much bad bacteria and not enough good bacteria because of the foods you're eating, again, you will not be able to convert T4 hormone into T3 hormone. So it is essential. You need to have a healthy liver and you need to have a healthy gut microbiome. The other ingredient here is fiber. Not many females are eating enough fiber because our food is so processed. We eat too much processed food. And what else are women addicted to? And that includes myself, because I have been on this journey with you guys. I was addicted to sugar. When you have too much sugar, you are feeding things like candida, you are feeding gut dysbiosis, you are giving yourself bad bacteria, and you're also raising insulin. When you raise insulin, you raise estrogen. When estrogen is high, your thyroid goes low. So every time you eat sugar, you are giving yourself more and more insulin, more and more estrogen, and also raising cortisol. You have high cortisol. Chronic stress comes from the food you also eat. It's not just about lifestyle that's stressing you out. It's also your food. The only way you can help heal your thyroid is by actually removing the food triggers that are causing your problem. So we have to eliminate this estrogen dominance. So you're going to learn in this chapter the root causes of conditions like Hashimoto's and Graves' disease, and it has nothing to do with your thyroid. It is created because of estrogen dominance. And all of this estrogen, as I've covered in that chapter of estrogen, is coming from so many different sources, which means the only way that we can address this is by looking after our liver and healing the gut and doing everything we can to detoxify the poisons out of our system through things like infrared saunas as well and dry skin brushing. We have to do these things. We have to make it part of our lifestyle if we want to heal our body and our thyroid. Now, the thyroid is dependent on one crucial mineral that seems to be neglected today by the majority of the world, and that is iodine, because there is an iodine fear. Where did this iodine fear come from? It came from doctors, Western medicine, because they know that iodine is that powerful, it can kill cancer cells, because iodine is required for your whole entire body, not just the thyroid. You also need it in your ovaries, because your ovaries depend on iodine. So whenever you get hormonal symptoms, PMS pain, PMDD, breast pain, breast tenderness, you are lacking in iodine. Even the prostate needs iodine in men as well. Iodine is required in every single cell in your body. So if you're not eating iodine in seaweed foods, which many people don't, you are lacking in the most important mineral that is supporting your thyroid. You do not need to have a lot. You just need to make sure that you are having iodine in your diet to support your thyroid. Not just that, to prevent your body from getting cancer. Iodine also blocks radiation. So in our modern world today, which is amazing, we have all this technology. I'm able to speak to you right now through technology. It's fabulous. However, it's going to come with a side effect of radiation. We are being bombarded with 5G, with everything technology we have in our homes. We have these smart meters, we have routers, we have all of this technology that is killing off our thyroids. We go for a dental x-ray, You need to be asking if you ever go to the dentist and they want to do an x-ray, you need to ask them for protection against your thyroid, because every time you do that, it is killing off your thyroid. Whenever you go through an airport scanner as well, it's killing off your thyroid. So this is where iodine helps. Iodine blocks radiation. So you don't need too much of it. You just need a small amount. However you want to get it into your body is entirely up to you. My recommendation is sea moss because it contains other important minerals that also support your thyroid, such as iron and magnesium and zinc and selenium, etc. These also support your thyroid, and they encourage nice, beautiful hair, which a lot of females want. We want nice hair, right? And healthy skin and energy levels that are good so that we can perform well in our daily lives. And, if you have tasks to do, looking after your children or going to work and seeing, we live very busy lives. So we want this energy to get through life. And if you want to pursue dreams and passions and all that, you can do that too. So sea moss is a great thing. And I take iodine in Lugol's solution. I have a little bottle and I just add a couple of drops into my water daily and I drink it. You don't have to do what I do, but that's how I like to do it. Since I've been taking that, my breast pain has gone. I don't get it anymore. I used to get really bad PMS, really bad, and breast pain was one of them. And my breasts would also grow around my period because of my estrogen. My estrogen was too high. Now, I've been taking iodine for a long time and I've not had breast pain since taking it, because there are receptors that sit on your breasts that need to have iodine. And this is where breast cancer comes into it, because if you don't have enough iodine in the breasts, you will have other toxins coming in that will sit on those receptors. So imagine you've got these little receptors and they're here. So you could have fluoride that comes in. So you're brushing your teeth with fluoride, or you're drinking your water from the tap with fluoride. Fluoride comes in from everywhere. That fluoride sits on your receptors. If it's not fluoride, it's going to be a xenoestrogen. You're using these body lotions. You're putting all this toxic body lotion. You want to smell nice and smelling nice, but you're rubbing it into your breasts, and then the breasts are getting all of those xenoestrogens with whatever products you've applied there, from your paraffinium liquidum and your phthalates. Whatever has gone into that is going to go into your breasts. It's in your breast tissues. You've just created that breast cancer because of what you've applied to your skin topically. And, these deodorants that every single woman loves to spray themselves with when they're going for a workout. You see it all the time in the gym, and smell it as well. I don't want to smell your aluminium. I don't want to smell that crap. So I'm using natural products. I'm an ambassador for Tropic skincare because I believe in their products. They are natural and they are not going to harm you, and they are not going to harm your hormones either. So you need to flood your breast with iodine so that these other toxins and xenoestrogens cannot come along and be sitting on those receptors instead. Because if they are, then you're going to fall into problems and you're going to get sick. So if you have all these xenoestrogens there, you may also get breast pain and the breast growth, and even cysts and fibroids as well. You need to have iodine in your body. That's just one thing, but it is the major one to make your thyroid work. If you don't have iodine, you are not going to be able to make your thyroid work. So I've given you a list of all the things you need for your thyroid. An essential one is vitamin D3 and K2. And this is something that I had to go through and learn for myself as well, how important D is for our thyroid hormones. So TSH is your pituitary gland. It's not a thyroid hormone. TSH works to make T3 and T4. However, your TSH is normally what you get tested for. And if your range goes up sky high, it can be due to other factors going in your body. It's not necessarily because your T3 and T4 hormones are struggling. There could be outside factors like chronic inflammation, and you have gut dysbiosis, or you have liver problems, you could be chronically stressed, you may have estrogen dominance, and that's causing your TSH to be higher. So that's what we would look at, rather than just keep prescribing you medication. Oh, your TSH is high, we'll give you more thyroid meds. There are other underlying reasons why your TSH could be high. Now, TSH could be high because you haven't seen the sunlight. I'm in the UK right now and we do not get sunlight. I've not had sunlight since I was last in Dubai, which is just a few months ago for me. What happened to me was this. Before I went to Dubai, I went for my blood test and they checked my D levels. I was really, really low, really low. Not borderline where they said I was going to die, but they said you're really low. My TSH was sky high. I went to Dubai, got some sunlight, my TSH went down to normal. So since then, because I'm not seeing any sunlight in the UK, I take D3 and K2 every day, because I know that to make your T3 and your T4 and T3 hormones, you need to have vitamin D. And I'm saying D3 with K2 because without K2, you could potentially give yourself things like a heart attack and a stroke because you have not got K2 in your body. K2 sends calcium into your bones. So as we age, this is another one which I will cover with you in the osteoporosis chapter. As we age, your bones can become brittle because you're not getting the right nutrition. Everyone's saying it's about estrogen, but it's to do with your nutrition and also how often are you lifting weights and doing exercise. But K2 is needed for healthy bones. So whenever you take D3, it sends calcium out of the gut and it will drive that calcium into your bones and create healthy bones. Without that K2, your calcium cannot get into your bones, but it will then sit in your arteries, create plaque formations, which could then lead to heart attacks, strokes, etc. You have to take D3 with K2. If you choose to go on a high dose supplement of D3 as well, you need to make sure that you are taking magnesium with it, although you should be taking magnesium anyways, because magnesium is needed to also make your T4 and T3 conversions. You have to have magnesium in your body. You need to have these things through diet, and you also need to have them in supplements. In our life today, guys, the food is not healthy enough. The soils are so depleted, even organic soil as well. You do not know how much nutrition is in that soil. This is why we have to take supplements on top of our food supply. So healthy greens, yes, magnesium, that's where we get all of that from our chlorophyll and our spirulina and our chlorella and our wheatgrass. This is magnesium. And healthy beans like lentils and chickpeas and all of this stuff that I've covered for you in the magnesium chapter as well. We have to eat these foods, but we're going to have to take some supplements to support our body and help our body work for us. So I've given you the knowledge to go away and take with you to understand just why your thyroid is not working and where these symptoms are coming from. And it is not because we need thyroid medication. We need our body to work, and the only way that our body is going to work for us is by actually giving it the nutrition that it is craving. Because if you're drinking coffee, you're taxing your adrenals. If you're drinking diet cokes and sodas and eating copious amounts of sweets and biscuits and cakes and flowers and all of this rubbish junk food and sweeteners and crisps and white bread and even whole grain bread, which is no longer whole grain, it's just full of pesticides and fungicides and glyphosate, destroying the gut microbiome, and gluten and dairy, all the things that I say avoid in my books. You are not going to heal your thyroid. You are not going to help your thyroid. Your thyroid is just going to stay low until eventually your symptoms get worse, you feel worse, and you're never getting anywhere. You're just going round and round like a hamster in the circle, loop round until you get more medication because you've asked for your thyroid meds, they've given you the meds, now something else goes wrong, you end up on more medication. That is how it goes. Now I'm on thyroid medication. I've been on it since I was 18 years old. I have tried to not be on it, and it didn't work because I've been on the medication for 20 plus years. Once you get on the medication, your body is hooked. Your body is dependent on that medication. It no longer wants to do the job anymore. The medication takes over. So I still do everything. I still take zinc. I still take magnesium. I still take the selenium. I still do the iodine. I do everything still to support my body to make its thyroid hormones naturally. Because even taking that medication, as I've just said, you could still be not converting T4 hormone to T3. And that's why you still have those symptoms. A T4 hormone does not heal your body. It is only going to stop the symptoms. That is all it can do for you. Yes, the symptoms are awful. This is why I went back on the medication after I tried to not go be on it. I was like, let's just do a little test. No, I've had radioactive iodine. I can't. My body just no longer makes thyroid hormones. It just doesn't. It's gone kaput. But But it is what it is. You know, we learn from these things, and I'm here now trying to educate you and teach you there are better ways to look after ourselves rather than just depending on medications and surgeries, because ultimately that is not the path to heal. So if you are listening right now, guys, and you have taken thyroid medication, and you know, that's okay. It is what it is. Support your liver, take the supplements, eat the healthy foods, and just create health even with the medication. It's not the end of the world. It's just something that we have to depend on and live with. And eventually, I'm hoping, you know, you get to a place where you feel great. And, you know, you're like one of my clients has said to me, I'm going to come into your class and I'm going to be doing somersaults and doing all these things. I'm like, yeah, that's what we want. We want to feel like that when we're 60, 70, 80, 90, into old age. And just that's what it's about. Not having these aches and pains, which could also be created because of thyroid problems as well. So enjoy listening to the audios and also the presentation when you get into the menopause chapter of my course. And we can heal the thyroid, but it is going to require you to give up the things that are hurting you in order to heal your thyroid, because the body will never heal unless we actually give up and let go of the destructive things that we take into our bodies. And that's the hard part. You have to get into a mind of, I want to do this. I want to heal my body. And if you can't do that, then you will just end up going through the same destructive patterns through the rest of your life. And you might be happy with that. You could be fine with that. I was not someone who wanted that. I wanted to get well. I wanted to get better. I wanted to lose weight. I wanted to feel like myself again. I even had a client who had radioactive iodine as well. And she said, since I've had that, I do not feel like me anymore. And that's how I felt. I did not feel like me anymore. So it took me a long time to finally get back to a place where I do feel like me again. And that is what we want. We want to feel like us rather than a zombie walking through the daily life because we have all this brain fog and just can't think clearly and everything else. You know, we can't sleep, or anxiety, or maybe you've got handshakes as well. That usually comes with Graves' disease, or heart palpitations, you know, lots of different symptoms that come with these conditions. So feed your body well, guys. Take your supplements. If you need support, I have my shop in the Amazon UK for those who are listening from the UK, and any skincare as well. Go to my shop for Tropic, and that will give you some healthy skincare rather than applying all this toxicity to our skin, which is creating estrogen dominance, lowering our thyroid, creating higher cortisol as well. And because we use these products as well, they also sit in our fat cells, and the more fat we have, remember, that's what estrogen likes to feed off. So we then encourage that fat to grow just because of the products that we're using to our skin. So we need to apply into our skin. We need to put nice stuff on our skin to reduce the fat cells if you have them. I know I have. And it's not easy, guys. It's a process, but enjoy this section of the course.